Hey YouTube, it's Sean, Griffin RC Planes. My AX12 transmitter is on the TV. I have a Spektrum Smart AR630 receiver in the test plane. I said we connect the two and go through the forward programming menu from A to Z and just see what it has to offer up on the TV here. And for those of you that may not know, forward programming is how you program your receiver for your plane. How you set up the gyro and safe select, and there's just tons and tons and tons of options through the forward programming menu. So let's boot it up and look at it on the TV here. Then we can create individual videos on certain things that we see here. So hang tight. If you want to win a jet like this, all you have to do is subscribe. Click the like button and leave a comment. And then ring the bell so you don't miss my next video. At 1,000 subscribers, we gave this jet away. At 5,000, we're going to give another one. I don't know what it is yet. We'll see when that time comes. So hey, subscribe guys. Happy flying. Alrighty, so first thing we need to do is activate the airware. Oh. Okay, got the AX12 pulled up on the TV. We got the test plane. We'll get it bound up and then we'll set it down out of everybody's view. Just turn it on here. Little blue flag represents the motor. When I give it throttle, it'll go back and forth. Just like so. Then we have our ailerons, our elevator, and of course our rudder. I'll set it down a little bit. Yeah, like so. And let's pull up the forward programming menu. And we'll just see what all is inside the menu. Your throttle cut will need to be on, which mine is. I just checked. And we need to get to a different menu. This menu might look a little different from your transmitter. It's just laid out different. Everything's the same, just laid out in a different format. So don't think that this won't help me because my radio is not like it. Now yours is just set up a little bit different. So you enter in the forward programming menu and you've got two choices right off the bat. We'll start with other settings and just see what's in there. And here you can set your fail safe. Fail safe is if heck forbid you lost signal, what would the plane do? How would the servos move if you lost signal? You can set all that up in your own way. You can also bind directly from this menu. You can change your frame rate using digital servos. You would use the 11 milliseconds. Using analog servos, you would use the 22 milliseconds. And just depending on your application, restore from backup. That's really cool. These receivers have enough memory inside of them to have two different planes set up. So if you set one plane completely up and got it dialed in and then you decided not to fly it for a while, you could take that profile and inside your receiver and store it, let's say in the back closet, and then that opens up a whole new receiver for you to program for another plane. Then if you want to swap planes again, you can move the receiver back and forth. So the receiver has enough menu for two planes in it. The save and the restore. So if we had a plane set up right now, we'd click save. and then it would bring up another 2-in-1. Hit the back button, gyro settings. So we have another menu here, the AS3X, which is the gyro for the stability for wind. We also have the safe settings, that's the safe select. So AS3X and a safe are two separate things. Flight mode setup and the system setup. Flight mode setup is different than the flight modes in your transmitter. These flight modes could be, one, you have the AS3X set on these settings, and on this other flight mode you have a safe select with no AS3X help. Another flight mode could be you have AS3X and not safe. Those are the different flight modes inside the receiver. We'll click on AS3X settings, and you can see we can adjust our gains and our priority and our heading. The gains is the stronger the gain, the more help it's going to give you. If you have too much help, it can be bad. Priority is how much the AS3X is going to help you, depending on how much you're moving your stick back and forth. You know, for example, if you put your stick all the way to the far right to take a right-hand turn, you can set it up to where there's no help with the AS3X, or you can set it up however you want with the priority. That's how much help it's going to give you, depending on how much movement you're moving the stick. Heading is how strong you want the gains and everything to help you. And then the sensitivity, it's 1x and 2x and then 4x, and that's all for different type airplanes. In the manual it says all that. What type plane should use what 1x, 2x, or 4x setting. Then your gains, do you want them fixed or adjustable? If you have a transmitter that has a knob or a slider, it's a good idea to start out with adjustable. That way you can fine tune the gains setting while you're flying. Instead of flying, landing, making an adjustment, flying again. You can adjust the gains while you're flying. Once you figure out what your settings should be, then you click capture, and then that locks in the gains. We'll go back out of this and see another menu. We'll just check out the safe settings. You have safe gains. You know, how fast do you want the safe to help you? Then you have the angle limits. I just flipped my flight mode channel to a safe select, and then you can see that I have 60 degrees, 40 degrees, and 50 degrees. That's just how it's set up right now. You can change all your limits. You can also have the fixed or adjustable gains for the safe. Then once you figure out what your gains should be, you click capture. Here's our flight modes. You can decide what switch and channel you're going to use to activate flight modes. Right now I'm using my gear channel, which is channel 5, and switch A. Depending on your transmitter, you can choose different channels and switches. You can see in this particular flight mode I have AS3X activated, and I have safe mode set up with self-leveling and angle demand. There's no panic mode, no high throttle to pitch, no low throttle to pitch. What's the high throttle to pitch? A lot of the trainer planes, such as Apprentice, the more throttle you give it, the more the plane will fly up to help you. We'll go back out of that, and we'll check out the system setup menu. Every time you make different adjustments, you need to click relearn the servo settings. That just tells the receiver that, hey, I made some adjustments, and I want you to be aware of this. The orientation, you can choose how you want your your receiver mounted? You know, is it the pins to the rear, the pins to the front? Is the receiver mounted upside down or on its side? You can either do it manually or you can let this help you. And if you do, like it says right now, set the model level and press continue. Let's go ahead and do that. And then, the model's already level and I just press continue. And now it says hold the model nose down 90 degrees and press continue. All right. So now you can see that the receiver has the Spektrum logo faced up, the bind button to the front of the plane, and the pins to the rear. And that is exactly how we have the receiver mounted. And we'll save the settings. All right, back in the forward programming menu. And we were in the gyro settings, system setup. Safe and panic mode setup. So here you can set up a panic mode or throttle to pitch like we talked about, the altitude trim, fail-safe angles, all kinds of different stuff in this menu here. We'll look in the utilities menu. And this is just a way for you to add extra flight modes without having to program one. Let's say you figured out everything and you like what this flight mode is. Well, you want to just copy that into another flight mode. We're just going to go back out of that because we're just looking around in here. Gain channel select. Gain channel select for roll. What channel do you want to use for your gain channel? Auxiliary 1 or 2 or 3, depending on what your transmitter is and what you have available. You got done making a bunch of adjustments, and you click relearn servo settings and apply. Complete. Okay, guys, well, I guess that's all for this little tour of the forward programming. Okay, guys, hey, that's all I got for this one. Thank you so much. I hope everybody's having a good weekend. It's too cold and windy and rainy for me to fly this weekend, so doing a little bit of fiddling here in the shop. So, oops. All right, guys. Hey, once again, thanks. Hey, subscribe if you haven't. Click the like button. Leave me a comment. Ring the notification bell so you don't miss my next video. That's the best way to support what I do. It helps out the YouTube algorithm. All right, guys. Hey, thank you. And until next time, you'll see me here. Right there.